Top 10 celebrities who destroyed their careers on talk shows.
I agree with what he said. No. Everybody goes, if you support him.
Some stars rise to fame with charm and talent, but just one wrong word on live TV can send it all crashing down. From explosive arguments to jaw-dropping confessions, these talk show moments didn't just make headlines, they destroyed careers. What happens when a single interview costs everything? Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 celebrities who completely ruined their reputations in front of millions. Number 10, Piers Morgan. It's astonishing to think someone would jeopardize their entire career simply by dismissing another person's mental health struggles. TV host Piers Morgan had plenty to say following Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's explosive interview. The revelations shared by the royal couple were filled with shocking secrets, significant allegations, and heartfelt testimonies, providing a deeper glimpse into their lives. One individual who persistently criticized their interview was Piers Morgan, whose on-air remarks not only cost him his job, but also led to widespread online backlash. During the interview, Meghan candidly discussed how her mental health had deteriorated as a member of the royal family, even revealing that at one point after marrying into the family, she contemplated ending her life. Piers addressed this on Good Morning Britain, declaring that he didn't believe a word she said. His harsh remarks quickly triggered intense criticism from the public, with many accusing him of making dismissive and disrespectful comments about Meghan's mental health. Both Piers and the studio he worked for faced a torrent of negative feedback, prompting Piers to step down from his role on Good Morning Britain. Since then, he has remained unapologetic, and with his reputation damaged, few seem willing to collaborate with him now, leaving his career in jeopardy. Number 9, Chris Harrison. In 2021, Chris Harrison, the face of the Bachelor franchise for nearly 2 decades, found himself at the center of a storm that ended his long-running career with the show. The controversy began when photos surfaced of contestant Rachel Kirkconnell attending an antebellum-themed party years earlier, sparking accusations of racism and widespread calls for accountability. During an interview with former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay, Chris attempted to address the scandal but only managed to ignite further outrage. Defending Rachel, he said, "We all need to have a little grace, a little understanding, a little compassion. Until I actually hear this woman have a chance to speak, who am I to say any of this?" His comments, widely perceived as dismissive of the racial insensitivity at the heart of the controversy, left many feeling he was more concerned with protecting the contestant than acknowledging the hurt caused by her actions. The backlash was swift and overwhelming. Fans and former contestants criticized Chris for perpetuating harmful narratives, and calls for his resignation spread across social media. Although he later issued an apology and stepped aside temporarily, the damage was done. The network announced his permanent departure later that year, bringing an end to his role as the franchise's iconic host. Chris's misstep became a stark example of how misjudging public sentiment and mishandling sensitive topics can topple even the most established figures in the entertainment industry. His departure marked a turning point for the franchise and a cautionary tale for public figures navigating cultural accountability. Number 8, Sinead O'Connor. SNL is one of the most successful and widely viewed variety shows, but its massive popularity means that when things go wrong, the fallout can be significant, especially for the people involved. One of the most infamous controversies tied to SNL was the incident involving Sinead O'Connor in 1992, which ultimately derailed her career. Sinead was invited to perform songs from her latest album on the show, and while she agreed, she had a specific condition attached to her appearance. Instead of performing a track from her album, she requested to sing a version of Bob Marley's song War. On the night of the performance, she took the stage, sang the song with altered lyrics to shift its context, and then made a powerful and shocking statement. At the end of her performance, she held up a photo of Pope John Paul II and tore it apart, using the moment to protest the Catholic Church. Her actions were intended to bring attention to allegations of abuse within the church, an issue she felt deeply about due to her own experiences with individuals allegedly harmed by clergy members. However, the act sparked outrage. NBC received thousands of angry calls in the days following the broadcast, with viewers condemning the network for airing such a stunt. Fellow celebrities, including Madonna and Joe Pesci, publicly criticized Sinead for what she had done. After the controversy, she was blacklisted by much of the entertainment industry, and her career never recovered from the backlash. Enjoying this video? Like and subscribe for more. Not feeling it? A like would still be appreciated, and your comments will help me do better next time. Number 7. Carmen. For those aspiring to break into Hollywood or the music industry, the goal is to get as much exposure as possible to build a solid reputation. Being invited to appear as a musical guest on a major platform like SNL can be a huge milestone, provided everything goes well. Unfortunately for the music duo Carmen, their SNL performance did the opposite and marked the beginning of the end for their career. Carmen, a now disbanded and rebranded duo, initially gained popularity on YouTube by uploading covers of hit songs like Party Rock Anthem and Super Bass. Their online success eventually caught the attention of an SNL casting director, who invited them to perform on the show. However, when they appeared on stage and sang a couple of their tracks, the reception was far from favorable. The reviews following the show were scathing, with critics slamming their performance. One reviewer even described it as causing mild auditory distress. The harsh criticism essentially derailed Carmen's career, and the duo struggled to recover from the fallout. Unable to regain their footing in the industry, they eventually faded from the spotlight, bringing their musical journey to an end. Number 6. Bill Maher. By now, we should all recognize the immense power of language. It can be a force for good when driving positive change, but it can also backfire when used inappropriately. Unfortunately, some people fail to fully grasp this, and their harsh or offensive remarks can lead to severe backlash, even derailing their careers. One notable example is talk show host Bill Maher, whose use of the N-word during an episode of his HBO show Real Time with Bill Maher sparked outrage and left lasting damage to his reputation. While interviewing Senator Bill Sasse, the senator extended an invitation for Bill to visit Nebraska, jokingly saying, "Have you work in the fields with us?" In response, Bill scoffed and replied, "I'm not a house N-word." As expected, the public was quick to condemn his choice of words, with many expressing outrage over his casual use of such a deeply offensive term. Although Bill attempted to justify the remark as a joke, it didn't lessen the severity of what he said or how it was received. The backlash was intense, with viewers and even fellow late-night hosts like Stephen Colbert criticizing him for the incident. Despite his efforts to move past the controversy, the scandal left a significant mark on his career, as these types of missteps are not easily forgotten. Number 5. Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne's decades-long career as a fiery and outspoken television personality unraveled in 2021 after a contentious on-air argument about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. During an episode of The Talk, Sharon passionately defended Piers Morgan's controversial comments, dismissing Meghan's claims about her mental health, declaring, "I feel like I'm about to be put in the electric chair because I have a friend who many people think is a racist." Her co-host Cheryl Underwood pushed back, emphasizing the deeper implications of Piers's remarks and how they could be seen as dismissive of Meghan's experiences as a black woman. The exchange quickly escalated, with Sharon demanding Cheryl educate her on how Piers's words were racist, a demand that many viewers found combative and tone-deaf. The fallout was immediate. Social media exploded with criticism, and allegations of Sharon's past inappropriate behavior, including using racial slurs against former colleagues, resurfaced. Amid the growing backlash, CBS launched an investigation which ultimately led to Sharon's departure from The Talk. For Sharon, this was a career-altering blow. Known for her brash, no-filter personality, this incident crossed a line that alienated both audiences and industry peers. Endorsements and opportunities dwindled, leaving her public image in tatters. Sharon's downfall serves as a stark reminder of how navigating sensitive topics without empathy or self-awareness can backfire spectacularly, especially in a cultural climate increasingly attuned to issues of race and accountability. Number 4. Kelly Osbourne. We just covered Sharon Osbourne's recent talk show controversy, but her daughter Kelly Osbourne has also found herself at the center of her own scandals, one of which unfolded on a talk show and significantly damaged her career. During an appearance on The View, Kelly attempted to criticize Donald Trump, but ended up sparking a backlash against herself instead. At the time, Donald Trump, who was still a presidential nominee, had been making inflammatory remarks about the Latinx community, including advocating for their deportation. In an ill-conceived effort to push back against Trump's comments, Kelly said, "If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who's going to be cleaning your toilet? Donald Trump." While her intention was to defend the Latinx community, her statement backfired spectacularly as it reinforced harmful stereotypes by implying that Latinx individuals are only associated with housekeeping jobs. The backlash was swift, with many calling her comments offensive and tone-deaf. Realizing her mistake, Kelly issued an apology, saying, "I want to start by saying I always take responsibility for my actions. In this particular case, I will take responsibility for my poor choice of words. But I will not apologize for being a racist, as I am not." Despite her clarification, the damage was done, and the incident dealt a serious blow to her career. Rate Kelly Osbourne's apology. Did she do enough to make amends for her comments? Comment with a number from 0, 5, where 0 is not enough and 5 is sincere apology. Number 3, Paula Deen. In 2013, Paula Deen, once adored as the embodiment of Southern charm and comfort food, faced a career-ending scandal after admitting in a deposition that she had used a racial slur in the past. While the admission alone sparked widespread backlash, it was her disastrous appearance on The Today Show that sealed her fate. Speaking with Matt Lauer, Paula delivered an emotional yet perplexing plea. "If there's anyone out there that has never said something they wish they could take back, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard at my head that it kills me." Rather than offering a clear apology or taking accountability, she framed herself as the victim, focusing on her hurt feelings rather than addressing the harm caused by her words. The interview was widely criticized for its lack of sincerity and poor judgment, with many viewers feeling that Paula failed to grasp the gravity of the situation. Social media erupted with outrage, and major sponsors, including Walmart, Target, and the Food Network, quickly severed ties with her. The fallout was swift and brutal. Paula went from a culinary superstar to a pariah, with her name stripped from product lines, endorsements, and television opportunities. While she attempted a comeback in later years, her reputation never fully recovered. This moment remains a cautionary tale about accountability and the power of public perception, demonstrating how mishandling a crisis can accelerate the downfall of even the most beloved public figures. Number 2, James Corden. Recently, TV host James Corden has landed in hot water, with fans over backlash surrounding his Spill Your Guts segment. Viewers are demanding accountability from James after he made remarks about certain Asian foods featured on the show that many found offensive. The segment involves serving foods deemed unappetizing, and some fans were upset that traditional Asian dishes, like balut, were included and labeled as disgusting. This sparked a wave of criticism online, with many calling out James for disrespecting cultural cuisine. The backlash intensified when people pointed out that James has made similar comments about Asian dishes on multiple occasions. Frustrated by this pattern, some fans have decided enough is enough, even creating a petition to have the Spill Your Guts segment removed entirely. As James faces increasing calls for accountability and the threat of cancellation, questions are being raised about whether this controversy could jeopardize his career or if it will eventually blow over without lasting consequences. Share your thoughts on the matter in the comments below. Number 1, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres' reputation as the Queen of Nice crumbled during the fallout from her own talk show in 2020, culminating in her eventual announcement to end The Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2021. The controversy reached a boiling point after a tone-deaf quip made during her remote shows in lockdown. "This is like being in jail," is what it is. At a time when millions were grappling with COVID-19, job losses, and social justice movements, Ellen's comment epitomized an alleged disconnect between her public persona and reality. Though the offhand remark was mocked online, it was just the tip of the iceberg. Former employees began speaking out about the show's toxic workplace culture, accusing producers of bullying, harassment, and racism, while alleging Ellen turned a blind eye. Even her trademark "Be Kind" mantra was questioned, as stories of her dismissive behavior towards staff and guests surfaced. Social media erupted with memes and hashtags like #replaceEllen, symbolizing her dramatic fall from grace, and the backlash was swift and severe. Sponsors pulled back, ratings plummeted, and Ellen issued an on-air apology that critics deemed insincere. As Hollywood distanced itself, her long-standing reputation for generosity and kindness seemed irreparably tarnished. While Ellen remains a successful figure in entertainment history, this chapter became a stark reminder of the scrutiny celebrities face in the age of accountability. Her downfall is a cautionary tale about authenticity and the dangers of losing touch with the audiences who once adored her. Diddy might be far more sinister than you realize, from allegedly owning a private island where he reportedly imprisons his victims to having secret underground tunnels beneath his mansion. Here are 10 of the strangest facts about him. Starting with one you probably didn't know, Diddy seems unusually close to his mum. During a 2022 Instagram Live, not only did he share a kiss on the lips with her, but he also revealed something unusual. "Yeah, my mum's single. Yeah, for real. My mum might want to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house, playing outside, moving and shaking, baby. She comes with me to strip clubs. I don't care." The family dynamics get even stranger at number 9. What if I told you that bizarre and troubling behavior seems to run throughout Diddy's family? Take his son, Christian Combs, for instance. It's uncanny how much he resembles his father, both in appearance and allegedly in conduct.
In this audio that CNN has listened to, you can specifically hear the accuser.
Back in 2022, a woman named Grace Omar Cake worked as a bartender on Diddy's yacht. At first, the atmosphere was lively, with guests drinking, dancing, and enjoying themselves. However, as the day progressed, Grace began to feel unwell and disoriented. Things took a disturbing turn when she found herself trapped in a room with Christian, who allegedly harassed and assaulted her. According to audio reviewed by CNN, the accuser can be heard claiming that Christian coerced her into taking a tequila shot she suspected was spiked with drugs. In the recording, she reportedly confronts Christian, asking if she was being drugged, to which he responds, "Take the shot." Despite struggling and attempting to escape, Grace eventually managed to flee the situation, though the traumatic event stayed with her. In April 2024, she filed a lawsuit against Christian, accusing him of drugging, assaulting, and emotionally traumatizing her. Her case gained traction thanks to music producer Lil Rod Jones, who was allegedly present during the incident and possesses recordings of what transpired. As this case unfolds, Christian could face severe consequences and potentially share a similar fate to his father, with years of imprisonment hanging over him. Diddy might actually thrive in prison, and here's why. At number 8, it's been alleged that one of his favorite parts of working in the music industry is having relationships with male rappers. He's even hinted at being particularly close to Usher, mentioning how they spent time together when Usher was a child. He recalled moments like them waking up and arguing over Frosted Flakes, jokingly describing it as brotherly bonding. However, his former bodyguard, Gene Deal, took this a step further, making insinuations about the nature of Diddy and Usher's relationship. In addition to this, there have been widespread claims within the industry that Diddy has been romantically involved with prominent male rappers.
Yeah, I bet they did. Somebody frosted somebody flakes without the milk.
Gene Deal once shared a story of what he described as a freak-off involving Diddy and Ja Rule. He claimed that during this incident, someone showed up looking for Ja Rule, and when he refused to let them enter the room, a confrontation ensued. Shortly after, Diddy and Ja Rule emerged from the room, reportedly both wrapped in towels and visibly startled. Gene suggested that something highly inappropriate had been going on behind closed doors. While some dismiss these accounts as speculation, court documents have reportedly revealed that Diddy not only hired male escorts, but also allegedly had an affair with rapper Meek Mill. But that's not all. Diddy's controversial behavior extends beyond his personal life, as he has also been accused of negatively impacting the childhoods of several musicians. Ready for an unforgettable adventure? Drop number 1 in the comments if you're in it for the long haul. Trust me, you won't want to miss the surprises ahead in this video. At number 7, we delve into how Diddy's actions may have affected young artists, starting with Usher. In a 2016 interview, Usher revealed that, as a 13-year-old, he attended something called Puffy Flavor Camp, where he lived with Diddy for a year. At the time, Diddy was 23, raising eyebrows about the nature of this arrangement. But Usher isn't the only one with troubling stories. Over the years, various individuals, including Oreo Dyer, Lil Rod, Young Miami, Daphne Joy, and Cassie, have accused Diddy of harassment and grooming during their teenage years. Some of these individuals have even taken legal action against him. Another artist who has sparked concern is Justin Bieber. When Justin was just 15, he appeared in a video with Diddy where they talked about spending the next 2 days together and going crazy. Diddy described the experience as every teenager's dream and seemed to relish their time together. A few years later, Diddy appeared in another video where he questioned Justin about why they no longer spoke or spent time together. In this interaction, Justin appeared uncomfortable and made excuses about Diddy not having his contact information. At number 6, you probably didn't know that Diddy's rise to fame might be linked to a tragedy that claimed 9 lives. Back in December 1991, as Diddy was working to establish himself as a key figure in hip-hop, he decided to host a celebrity basketball game in New York. However, he put almost no effort into organizing the event. The arena he booked could only accommodate about 2,500 people, but more than 5,000 fans showed up eager to attend. As the game was about to start, chaos erupted. Thousands of people who couldn't get in pushed past the barriers, overwhelmed the security guards, and trampled over anyone in their way. Witnesses described the horrifying scene with bodies piled up at the bottom of the stairs and children lying limp on the ground. Emergency responders confirmed multiple deaths inside the gymnasium, yet for Diddy this marked a pivotal moment in his career. He later reflected on it, saying, "That's really how I started to become famous, was through a tragedy." He even embraced the idea of being a tragic hero, likening his rise to something out of Shakespeare. Moving on to number 5, did you know that Diddy has changed his name multiple times to cover up his alleged crimes? Over the years, he has gone to bizarre lengths to hide evidence. For instance, he once sent self-destructing invitations to his infamous white parties. Guests would receive a message with the party details, which would erase itself after being viewed. One celebrity recalled receiving such an invite, describing it as very high concept. In another instance, it was reported in 2023 that Diddy paid $50,000 to a hotel to destroy a tape of him allegedly assaulting his wife. But Diddy didn't stop at erasing evidence. He began using name changes as a tactic to distance himself from controversies. In the 1990s, after assaulting an employee of Interscope Records, he dropped the name Puffy and became Puff Daddy. Later, after being arrested in connection with a nightclub shooting, he rebranded again, going from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy. Over the span of a decade, he changed his name 3 times. However, as more accusations surfaced, he adopted an even simpler moniker, shortening it to just Diddy. When he faced charges of bribery and possession of a weapon, he tried to reinvent himself once again, switching to Love by 2021. At number 4, here's a surprising fact. Diddy seemingly predicted his own downfall. For years, various celebrities have dropped subtle warnings about him, but their messages often went unnoticed or misunderstood. For instance, during a 1998 interview, Mike Tyson created an awkward moment by deliberately moving Diddy's hand away from his leg. In 2000, Rosie O'Donnell joked at the Grammys about the trouble Diddy might be facing, hinting at potential legal issues. More recently, in 2023, Cat Williams spoke cryptically about how the truth about certain individuals, including Diddy, would soon come to light, suggesting that hidden scandals were about to be revealed. However, the most unexpected person to predict Diddy's downfall was Diddy himself. In a 1999 interview with Entertainment Tonight, he spoke about how he believed he was being unfairly targeted by authorities for throwing parties and uniting people. He described a future where his events would be shut down and arrests would follow, dismissing it all as part of the cost of living his high-profile lifestyle. Moving on to number 3, it's shocking to learn that Diddy has been accused of orchestrating the deaths of 3 of the most iconic rappers of all time. In the 1990s, 2 names ruled the rap game. Biggie Smalls, Diddy's close friend and an artist signed to his Bad Boy label, and Tupac Shakur, the West Coast legend, who had become one of the world's most celebrated rappers by 1996. Tupac's success created tension in the industry, with some viewing him as a threat to Biggie and Bad Boy Records. Tupac himself addressed the rivalry, saying he wasn't looking for trouble but would respond if provoked. Tupac's life ended tragically on September 7, 1996, when he was fatally shot in Las Vegas at just 25. For decades, theories implicated Diddy in his death, alleging jealousy as the motive. In 2023, Dwayne Keith Davis reignited speculation by claiming Diddy paid him $1 million for the hit. After Tupac's death, Biggie Smalls allegedly became Diddy's next target. Though they were once close, tension arose when Biggie considered leaving Bad Boy Records. Diddy convinced him to stay and brought him to Los Angeles, where Biggie was ambushed and killed during a studio session. His death left fans devastated and suspicious. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, added fuel to these suspicions, suggesting that Diddy intentionally set Biggie up. He questioned why Diddy would arrange studio time in LA when he had access to his own studio in New York. According to Deal, this move was no coincidence, claiming Diddy sent Biggie to LA, knowing full well the danger he faced, likening it to sending a sheep out to pasture. These allegations paint a grim picture of Diddy's rise to power in the music industry. Do you believe Diddy was involved in the deaths of Tupac and Biggie? Comment yes or no below. But here's the thing, Diddy isn't done trying to harm rappers even now. Earlier in 2024, some shocking allegations surfaced involving Kid Cudi. Back in 2012, Diddy's ex-wife, Cassie, was reportedly flirting with Cudi, which, according to Diddy's former bodyguard, Roger Bonds, sent him into a jealous rage. Bonds claimed Diddy ordered someone to throw a Molotov cocktail into Cudi's car through the sunroof. Bonds recounted hearing Diddy say he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car and wanted to make sure Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. The incident wasn't just hearsay. Cudi's car was indeed blown up. Thankfully, Cudi wasn't inside the vehicle at the time, but this attack is just one of the numerous charges Diddy is currently facing while behind bars. Now, if we dig into Diddy's upbringing, it starts to become clear how he became the person he is today. For number 2 on the list, you probably didn't know just how much Diddy's childhood shaped him into what many see as a monster. Growing up in the Bronx, his early life was filled with tragedy. When Diddy was only 3 years old, his father was killed in a drug deal gone wrong, shot dead on the spot. Reflecting on the loss, Diddy later said, "My father, he was killed when I was 3 years old. I don't have like a lot of memories of my father." After the murder, Diddy's mother decided to leave the Bronx and move to Mount Vernon, New York, in search of a better life for her family. However, what was supposed to be a fresh start turned out to have its own set of challenges. To pay for Diddy's private school tuition, his mom worked 3 jobs, which left her with little time to be around. Without parental guidance, Diddy was left to navigate life on his own, and this lack of structure turned him toward destructive behaviors. It started with selling drugs. Diddy later admitted, "I sold drugs for like a day, and I got chased by helicopters. Doors got kicked down. It was probably like the unluckiest day for a drug dealer. I was willing to do anything to get to it." At just 12 years old, Diddy also lost his virginity, a detail that adds to the chaos of his childhood. On top of that, he often found himself in fights with other kids. One of these confrontations became a defining moment in his life. Diddy recounted how one day his grandmother sent him to buy cigarettes, but a kid robbed him of the money. Returning home empty-handed, his mother gave him an ultimatum: "Go back and get the money or don't come home at all." Terrified and crying, Diddy confronted the boy, demanded his money back, and got into a fight. While Diddy lost the fight, he refused to give up, knowing his mother wouldn't let him back in the house without the money. This combination of trauma, desperation, and a survival-at-all-costs mindset planted the seeds for the ruthless man Diddy would later become. And now we've reached the final and perhaps most chilling fact on the list, one so bizarre it borders on terrifying. In 2024, as charges against Diddy began to mount, shocking details emerged about the infamous parties he's hosted over the years. While the wild parties alone might be enough to raise eyebrows, it's what allegedly happened behind closed doors that is truly sinister. These events, referred to by Diddy as freak-offs, were so outrageous and disturbing that they can barely be described in full detail. What we do know is that they reportedly involved copious amounts of alcohol, gallons of baby oil, and participants who were allegedly provided with IV drips just to keep them conscious. Even worse, reports suggest that some attendees were coerced into participating and held against their will. Diddy himself hinted at this dark side during a 2002 interview, where he joked about keeping women locked up, saying, "If you don't have what they need, they're going to leave, right? Got to keep them there, right? You need locks on the doors." While the comment was brushed off at the time as a joke, In hindsight, it takes on a far more ominous tone. Those who have attended Diddy's parties have spoken about seeing outrageous things, but the actual freak-offs reportedly took place in a hidden location, far from the public eye. This hidden world became even more unsettling in September 2024, when reports surfaced that Diddy's home featured underground tunnels leading to a cave. Speculation quickly grew that these tunnels were connected to the freak-offs. Adding to the suspicion, court documents revealed that during a raid on Diddy's property, authorities discovered a disturbing amount of evidence, including AR-15s, narcotics, and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And there you have it. Proof that even the biggest stars can lose it all in just one interview. These moments are more than entertainment. They're reminders of how words and actions have power. Whether it's a slip-up or a full-blown meltdown, talk shows have a way of exposing the truth, sometimes at a cost no one saw coming. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to iconicinside for more jaw-dropping celebrity stories. Hit that notification bell so you never miss what's next. And before you go, check out our last video, Top 10 Celebrities Who Are Horrible to Their Fans. You won't believe who made the list. Some of your favorites might surprise you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.